To people who hurt you in ways you recognize instantly, why a part of you always feels either too much or never enough. These patterns, they do not begin in adulthood. They echo deep and subtle, from long before you had words to describe them. Carl Jung once said, "Until you bring the unconscious into the light of consciousness, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And yet, sometimes what defines you is not a memory. It is a lie, not a lie you created, but one passed down to you. And until you bring it to light, it will quietly shape your worth, your actions, and even the way you see yourself. Before we go further, take a deep breath, because this is not just a video. It is a mirror. If you feel a resonance deep within, consider journeying with Golden Age wisdom, where we do not simply speak of understanding, but of the sacred act of returning to yourself. Childhood does not pass. It stays, not as a stage you move through, but as the foundation woven into your soul. Jung saw the child not as a phase of development, but as an archetype, a living symbol of memory, fragility, and untapped potential. For many, that child is still in survival mode. From our earliest days, we adapted to the emotional climate we were born into. If love was conditional, we learned how to perform for it. If emotions were dangerous, we learned to bury them. These decisions were not made by logic. They were written into us, through the way our bodies felt the world, through tone, tension, touch, or the aching absence of them. Those sensations wrote our first story. To be safe, I must change. Modern neuroscience now affirms what the child's heart always knew. The brain shapes itself in response to those first relational experiences. A child who learned to shrink to avoid conflict did not simply choose silence. They became silence. And so, healing often feels like loss. You are not just changing behaviors. You are separating your identity from the strategies that once kept you alive. To survive, we build a mask. Jung called it the persona, the version of ourselves that could be loved, praised, or at least left alone. But every time we put on the mask, we cast another part of ourselves into the shadows. Our anger, our longing, our grief, our voice. The persona is real, but is not whole. The world applauds your adaptability. It calls the child who suppressed emotions easygoing. It calls the silenced child strong. But beneath the praise, there's a quiet tension, where what looks like confidence is often just fear dressed with precision. Jung called this neglected self the shadow, and everything hidden in shadow longs to be seen. In that darkness, the most insidious lie takes root. It is never spoken aloud. It is never written down. It is only repeated in small, ordinary moments. The lie says, who you are right now is not enough to be loved. Perhaps you were only recognized when you achieved, your sadness ignored, your anger punished, your compliance praised. So you learn to survive by becoming someone else. This is not just emotion. It is biology. Your body remembers what your mind has tried to forget. You hesitate to speak your truth. You apologize too much, bend too much, give too much. You fear being a burden. You chase perfection. But the lie did not start with you. It began generations ago, in families who were never given the nourishment of emotional safety. Now it lives in you, not as a thought, but as a reflex. And here is the truth no one tells you. Healing is not pretty. It is raw, sometimes painful. It is facing the person you were forced to become and whispering to the child within, I will not leave you again. The purpose of healing is not just to mend what is broken. It is to call the lost parts home. Jung did not believe in self-improvement as we know it today. He spoke of self-recovery, the slow, courageous act of bringing back the pieces you abandoned for survival. The paradox is this. The person you long to be is the one you once were, before you had to perform. Individuation, the process of becoming your true self, is not about perfection. It is about truth. It is meeting the angry child, the gentle one, the wild one, the fearful one, not to fix them, but to say, I see you. You are allowed here. Every hidden emotion holds wisdom. Every uncried tear carries a memory. Every suppressed rage draws a boundary. You do not heal by erasing them. You heal by welcoming them back. And even if the world does not see, you do. And that is enough. Every time you choose to be present, rather than perform, every time you allow yourself to feel, to say no, to rest, to speak, you're breaking the cycle. You're letting go of the most corrosive lie, not through reasoning, but through living. When you trust your own knowing, more than the old conditioning, the lie loses its power, and you realize, my worth has never been something to earn. It has always been here. Let that truth resonate. If this message has touched you, do not remain silent. Share which part spoke to your soul. Your story may be the mirror someone else has been searching for. And if you believe in the power of returning to your truest self, subscribe to Golden Age Wisdom. We are not here for shallow inspiration. We are here to guide you home. You are worthy of wholeness. You always have been. If you want, I can now refine this English script further by adding intonation marks, pause cues, and emphasis signals so it's ready for professional voiceover in your Golden Age Wisdom videos. Do you want me to prepare that version?